As the sun beat down on the tarmac, Colonel Jessica Miller, a woman whose quiet demeanor hid a wheel of iron, boarded the C-130 Air Coolest transport plane. She was heading to a forward operating base for a critical inspection, dressed in simple civilian clothes to avoid drawing attention. Her journey, however, was about to take an unexpected turn. Inside the cockpit, First Lieutenant Peterson, a young, ambitious pilot, was running through his pre-flight checks. He was known for his sharp skills, but also for a certain arrogance that often rubbed his colleagues the wrong way. Jessica found an empty seat in the cargo bay, settling in for the long flight. She was a top-ranking SEAL colonel, one of the few women to ever reach such a position. Her career was a testament to her brilliance and unyielding determination, forged in the crucible of countless high-stakes missions. Today, though she was just another passenger, as she sat quietly, Peterson came back from the cockpit, his eyes scanning the sparse group of people on board. His gaze landed on Jessica. Seeing her plain attire, he made a snap judgment. "Hey! You!" he called out, his voice laced with authority. "This flight is for military personnel only. I think you're on the wrong plane. The cleaning crew's transport is over on the next runway." Jessica looked up, a flicker of surprise in her eyes, but her expression remained calm. "I believe I'm on the correct flight, Lieutenant," she said, her voice even and firm. Peterson scoffed, shaking his head. "Look, ma'am, I don't have time for this. We're on a tight schedule. I need you to deplane now. Don't make me call security." The other passengers, a mix of enlisted soldiers and junior officers, shifted uncomfortably. They knew better than to question a pilot, but something about the woman's composure made them hesitate. She didn't look flustered or angry. She simply looked at Peterson with a steady, unreadable gaze. "Lieutenant," she repeated, her tone hardening slightly. "I am Colonel Jessica Miller. I am on this flight under direct orders from Central Command for an inspection of forward Operating Base Delta. I suggest you verify your passenger manifest." Peterson froze. "Colonel?" He stared at her, his mind racing. There was no way this woman in a simple blouse and jeans was a high-ranking SEAL colonel. He'd seen pictures of the legendary Jessica Miller, but they were always in full combat gear. This had to be a bluff. Colonel Miller. "Huh, nice try," he sneered, crossing his arms. "I'm the pilot in command of this aircraft, and I say, you're not on my list. Now, for the last time, get off my plane." He gestured to the open ramp, his patience clearly gone. Just then, a grizzled master sergeant who was overseeing the cargo loading overheard the commotion and walked over, his eyes widening in recognition as he saw Jessica. He immediately snapped to attention, his back ramrod straight. "Colonel Miller." "Ma'am, my apologies. We didn't expect you to board so early." He shot a furious glare at the stunned lieutenant. Peterson's face went pale. The master sergeant's reaction was undeniable. The blood drained from his face as the full weight of his mistake crashed down on him. He had just tried to kick one of the most respected and decorated officers in the entire armed forces off his plane, mistaking her for a cleaning lady. He stood there, speechless, his earlier arrogance replaced by a wave of sheer panic. Jessica simply nodded to the master sergeant. "It's all right, Sergeant. The lieutenant and I were just having a misunderstanding." She then turned her steely eyes back to Peterson. "Lieutenant," she said, her voice low and controlled, "I suggest you return to the cockpit and prepare for takeoff. We have a schedule to keep. We will discuss your conduct when we land." Peterson could only manage a choked, "Yes, ma'am," before scrambling back to the cockpit. His face beat red. The flight to the forward base was the most tense and silent journey of his life. He could feel the weight of Colonel Miller's presence from the cargo bay, a constant, heavy reminder of his colossal error in judgment. He replayed the scene in his head, cringing at his own arrogance, and how quickly he had judged her based on her appearance. He had let his pride cloud his professionalism, and now he was going to pay the price. Upon arrival, as soon as the engine spooled down, Colonel Miller was the first to depart. She waited on the tarmac as a Humvee pulled up to greet her. Before getting in, she turned to a now trembling Lieutenant Peterson, who had followed her out. "Lieutenant," she began, her voice devoid of anger, but filled with a gravity that was far more intimidating. "Leadership isn't about the bars on your collar or the wings on your chest. It's about respect, judgment, and humility. You judged me by my clothes, not my character or my credentials. That's a dangerous mistake for a leader to make." She let the words hang in the air for a moment. In our line of work, a snap judgment can have fatal consequences. Today, it only resulted in your own embarrassment. Consider this a lesson, a very important lesson. Every person you meet, regardless of their appearance or perceived rank, deserves respect. Do you understand me? Peterson, looking at the ground, could only nod. Yes, Colonel, crystal clear. I am deeply sorry for my behavior. Colonel Miller gave him a long, hard look, then nodded curtly. See that you remember it. With that, she got into the Humvee and was driven away, leaving a thoroughly humbled pilot standing alone on the runway. Lieutenant Peterson never forgot that day. The encounter with Colonel Miller fundamentally changed him. He became a more thoughtful, humble, and effective leader, known for treating every single person, from a general to a janitor, with the same level of respect. The story of the day he tried to kick a legendary SEAL colonel off his plane became a cautionary tale that circulated through the ranks, a powerful reminder that true authority doesn't need a uniform, and that judging a book by its cover can lead to some serious trouble. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.